Good evening, and tonight we are going to be talking about who owns the copyright of AI generated art, plus the Wild West of celebrity NFTs. And a lot has been in the news recently with regards to AI generated art and questions about authorship. Who owns the copyright? Is it the tech companies? Is it the artists? Is it the technology itself, perhaps? So I'm going to discuss a few things that have been in the news recently in regards to that. So AI image generators like DALI are rightfully raising concerns from artists about creative ownership. AI generators are trained on millions of photos and learn to identify things from existing photos. Some of DALI's images are machine made, with the user only contributing text prompts, so it's not copyrightable at all. This is according to Wired. And remember the monkey selfie copyright case from a few years ago? This is Wiki actually used a monkey selfie picture, which was taken by a monkey. And said that it was, free Creative Commons, no copyright because a human hadn't taken it, the photographer, man hadn't taken it. And so there was a big hoo-ha about that, discussions about authorship and sentient beings and all that kind of stuff. And the photographer did sue, rightfully so, I think. But so these images are more likely to be public domain and not owned by anyone, and therefore free to use. More user input, like editing, anything that's changed, could lead to human-made authorship and would be eligible for copyright. This is actually talking about the monkey selfie again. At the end of the day, okay, the monkey took the photo, but then the human took that photo, edited it, and all that kind of stuff. So really, Wiki didn't have any leg to stand on with that one. But if a human being has done anything to the image, it is eligible for copyright. But do commercial technology companies own the copyright of the images users manipulate on their platforms? I would look at the small print because laws are changing fast. It's almost on a weekly basis. Recently, New York artist Chris Castanova has filed for what's possibly the first registered copyright for commercial AI-generated artwork for his graphic novel, Zara of the Dawn. The artist used Midjourney to create the images and told UPI News, which is quite worrying, I think, for an artist like me. I tried to make case that we did own copyright when we make something using AI. I'm not sure about that, Chris. The technology has been trained to scrape images from the internet, and stock photography website artists and photographers have criticised the art-making platforms, accusing them of violating their own copyrights. And so the big guns like Getty Images sent an email notifying users they will cease to accept all submissions creating user AI-generated models such as DALI, Midjourney, Night Care, and Imogen, and will remove all previous AI-generated art from their platform if they can find it. Shutterstock and others have followed Getty's decision. So that Getty stated that there are open questions and there are unaddressed rights issued with respect to the underlying imaging and metadata used to train these models. It's just waiting for a big court case. I'm a creative. I'm a photographer. I'm an artist. I'm a writer. If I saw my work used without my permission, I would sue. Artists work hard to protect their intellectual property, and when we're not fighting huge corporations caught stealing our images, we have come together in mutual respect and support. That's what you would think, right? When fellow artists use our images and claim them as their own, it just smacks us in the teeth. AI art making platforms are here to stay, and I'm certainly old enough to remember the objections to using Photoshop editing software when submitting images to competitions. But all things have changed now. But so what needs to happen is for the original artist and photographer to be cited for any work that is used to make and sell images with art making platforms. If you're going to make money out of somebody else's artwork, we've got to have a cut on that. You can expect that that lawyers will come out when famous pieces of art are reconfigured, promoted, and sold by another artist. And of course, actually, that really does kind of go on now, where things are art, pieces of art, pieces of film are repurposed and used by others, but there's a copyright infringement on that. So Things are going to get very interesting very soon. I'm waiting for a big piece of art, big name to be used, and there's going to be a big copyright legal case, I'm sure. Stephen Marsh's insightful article in The Atlantic states that the fear of AI replacing art is the same as the fear of photography in the 19th century. Yeah, I mean, back then, there was plenty of anxiety around this new technology, and many dismissed it as not art when all you're doing is pressing a button. Of course, photography didn't replace art, and there has always been room for mechanical and non-mechanical art. So according to Marche, AI reconfigures creativity. Creativity, AI is the art of big data. Creative artificial intelligence is the art of the archive. That's true, isn't it? That's what it's messing about with data. So in other news with regards to intellectual property, famous chef Anthony Bourdain, the late chef, his text messages were recently made public, and I expect that the late chef would not have wanted this private conversations to be read by the world. I mean, who owns your data when you die? Can your estate or relatives go against your wishes and publicize, sell, or destroy your digital legacy? Naomi Kahn from the University of Virginia's School of Law goes into the legal details in Slate. And of course, James L. Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, has retired from his iconic role and sold the rights to his voice to Ukrainian startup Respicha. And it's quite funny to see all this news about Bruce Willis selling his rights to his face. It's shown up so many times in so many different publications, and it's fake news. He's denied it all. It's fake news. So what about entertainment NFTs? Well, oh dear. Celebrity influencers are getting themselves into all kinds of legal trouble by not declaring their sponsored status. The biggest fine yet in the wild west of cryptocurrency was handed to Kim Kardashian for not declaring her monetary partnership with Ethereum. The Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, issued Kardashian a $1.26 million fine because she can afford it. Eminem, Tom Brady, and Gwyneth Paltrow were also called out for not being transparent with their sponsorship deals, but they were not fined. The Federal Trade Commission has stated that social media influencers must disclose their financial, personal, and material relationships with brands. So this happens all the time anyway, regardless of NFTs, well before NFTs coming, with Instagram influencers who are, especially in the beauty industry, are not declaring that they're being sponsored for stuff, but because they're a lot smaller, they're not getting found out. So these big guns, these big names are getting found out, and so they should be, and so they should know better. I mean, when is enough money that these people make anyway? So that's enough. A bit of a quick one tonight with regards to AI and art, which is across the board from photography and NFTs. If you want to listen to more, there's more on the other podcasts. I will be back again next week. Have a great night.